Hi everybody, this is Trevor here with Range Day, and today we have another sort of unboxing first impressions look at Holosun's HS510C reflex red dot sight. This is has two of the reticle options, the 2 MOA dot and the 65 MOA circle that you can alternate between all three, and I just thought this was a pretty cool option, and for the money it's pretty impressive what you get. So I was just doing a quick unboxing and some first looks for you guys here. So taking off the packaging, we have a little plastic box for the optic, and first thing inside the box is the reflex sight user manual, and then we get into the nuts and bolts. All this, we have a little cleaning cloth for the lens, and then here we have all the good stuff. So you can see there's the actual optic, a little Torx wrench here for installing the battery plate and adjusting the Picatinny mounting system that they have, and also a little multi-tool that they have that you can use to pry out the battery plate, and this little tab here is useful for your zeroing adjustments. So the battery plate, there's already one installed, and they give you an extra one, just houses one of those regular CR2032 round batteries. Battery life's actually quite impressive on these optics given the solar power capabilities they also have, but it's also nice of them to give you a spare. And then here we have the actual optic. So setting everything else out of the way, here we have it. It's a nice compact size, but still has a good size viewing window. You can see it has some of that anti-glare coating on the front and Holosun's logo on the front and sides. It's got a nice aluminum housing. It's pretty well made, pretty sturdy, and the hood is actually titanium that you can see in there. The little gap between here and the air is this outer hood is titanium to give that added durability. And on this side you can see we have the setting adjustments for the brightnesses, and also switches between the reticles and other modes of operation that this optic has. Moving on to this side, this is our sight window here. You can see the optics on. The reticle is incredibly clear, but it's really hard for it to focus on the camera. You see I have it set for the 65 MOA dot and the 2 MOA circle out of the box. You have Holosun signature solar panels on there, and we have our elevation and windage knobs here and here on the side. Battery goes in here, pretty easy to put in with 2 Torx bolts, and this is the sort of quick attach mounting system that they have for the Picatinny here. You can loosen this bolt to get your initial fit up and then tighten it up when it's on the rail, and then just sort of closes and clamps down pretty nice on your rail, so it's not going to move at all once you have it installed. But now we can get into some of the features of the optics. I think one of the things that impresses me the most about these guys is with this one battery, it gets like a maximum of 50,000 hours of battery life, which is something like 10 years on the setting with just the 2 MOA dot. Of course, if you have more of the LED going here with the donut of death, as we like to call it, I think Holosun says that's probably around 20,000 hours, and then if you just have the ring in the middle and no 2 MOA dot, it's obviously somewhere in between. But right now, we can take a look at some of the settings. They do have, with this, 12 different brightness settings. 2 of those are for daylight vision, and then there will be 2 night vision options. Right now, let's get it focused in here, so it's hard to do on camera. I have it set for the auto adjustment, I think is what it comes out of the box. So if you cover up the solar panels and it gets darker, it will automatically adjust the brightness of the dot. It's kind of hard to show this on camera. My finger gets in the way. See if that covers it up. Yeah, you can see it dims and then it goes back to brightness. Got cover, there it is, and you can see it's dim, and then when it's brighter it comes back. It actually works pretty quickly, and the brightness is actually quite nice for what it selects based on the amount of sunlight you choose. Now if you don't want it to be on the manual mode, all you got to do is hold the plus button for 3 seconds, and then it flashes, and that means you're on manual brightness mode. So if I click the plus, it'll keep getting brighter and brighter, and that's the brightest setting, which is pretty crazy for just indoors, but it is very powerful and should work quite well if you're just out in open sunlight. And then you can dim it all the way down to something that you'd be more apt to use indoors, and then even dimmer still, like now we can't even see it and it's on the night vision settings. But I usually, if I don't have it on auto, like to keep it, you know, somewhere about here or here based on the lighting. It's pretty nice, but the auto adjustment feature does pretty well too. And then looking at the different reticles, get back in there, it's on the 2 MOA dot and the 65 MOA ring, which is I'm rather partial to. But if on the side here you hold the minus button for 3 seconds, 2, 3, it'll switch options to just the 2 MOA dot. And if you hold it again for 3 seconds, we get the 65 MOA ring only, which is actually quite nice for close-up target acquisition. And if you hold it again for 3 seconds, you get the 65 MOA dot with the 2 MOA ring in here. Now this gives you the least amount of battery life, but I like this sight the most, and you know, it's 20,000 hours. Even with this at a moderate bright setting, so even if you just change your batteries once a year, it's not a big deal. And the other nice thing about these is you don't actually have to re-zero the optic to change the battery. I know some of the other ones, the battery's located underneath and you have to take it off to change the battery. That's a nice feature with this one where you don't have to do that. And you know, once every 1 or 2 years, you just change the battery and you're good to go. And even less if you're outside all the time, because with this optic in particular, it will tend to favor the solar power panels to provide light for the LED versus just the battery. But if there's no sun, of course, it'll use the CR2032 in here. And I just got this, and I haven't really shot a whole lot of rounds through my AR with it, but I did want to give you guys a first look just to see what it looks like out of the box and some first impressions. It does look really cool. It's very well made. It's actually surprisingly light, but it is a good size. Sight window's pretty good, and the reticle is very, very clear. It doesn't look as clear as it does in real life on the camera, but I mean, it is very, very, very cool to look through. And you can see there's just a tiny little tint to the glass there as opposed to normal lighting. It's just a little blue filtering going on there. I actually kind of like it, but it looks pretty nice. I'll do a separate video with this actually installed on the AR, and you know, do some the test of time results, if you will, as I use this a bit more. But I just got this and wanted to give a brief overview of all the features, and I saved the best one for last, of course. And I just think this is super cool. Most of Holosun's optics have the shake awake feature, so if I were to just set this on the counter here and leave it here for about 10 minutes or so, it would shut off the LED and start saving you battery. But the moment I pick it back up and move it like even the slightest twitch, it will turn back on to the last setting you have saved, which would be this brightness level and the combination optic. That's an incredibly cool system to me. I really, really like that feature, and it's just perfect in my opinion for a home defense gun. You have to worry a lot less about your changing your batteries, and you never have to worry about turning on your optic if you needed to use it in the middle of the night, or if a surprise home defense situation occurs. It's just saving battery life till you don't need it, but the moment you even touch your rifle with this thing installed, it's on and ready to go. And I think that's pretty cool. But overall, I'm pretty excited to try this thing out. It looks super cool in person. It feels really well built. Looking cool is important, and it definitely fits that bill. And just wanted to give a quick unboxing and first impressions on this and go over some of the features for everybody. So once again, I'm Trevor at Range Day, and thank you for watching.